My mother had not called me in 9 years, not once. Then one Wednesday morning my phone rang. Her name on the screen. I stared at it for 3 full rings. Then I answered. She said, "We have been thinking about you." I put down my coffee, because I knew this call was not about me. 3 days later she knocked on my door with a casserole dish and a list. I let her in, because I had something waiting for her too. Drop your city name right now, and subscribe. Because what I put in that envelope, she never saw coming. My name is Nadia Calloway. I am 38 years old. I live in Austin, Texas in a house with a garden my husband planted himself. Because he said every home needs something growing in it. He was right about that. He is right about most things. His name is Marcus. I met him at 24, at a work conference in Dallas. He was presenting a paper on sustainable business models. I was there representing the marketing firm I worked for. He made a terrible joke about conference coffee during the break. I laughed anyway. That was 14 years ago. We dated for 3 years. When I told my parents I was going to marry him, my mother set down her fork. My father folded his napkin, and they told me, calmly, carefully, with the particular coldness of people who have already made a decision, that if I married Declan, they would not be at the wedding, and they would not be in my life afterward. Their exact words were, "He is not what we had in mind for our daughter." I lumped at my parents, the people who had raised me, fed me, driven me to school, sat in the front row at every recital and graduation. And I said, "Then I will build a life without you in it." We got married on a Saturday in September. Small ceremony, 40 people, a garden venue outside Austin with string lights and my best friend Dara officiating because she had gotten ordained online 3 weeks before, specifically for this purpose. My parents were not there. My in-laws were. Declan's mother Pauline, a retired school teacher from Houston who cried through the entire ceremony and kept touching my face like she was making sure I was real, was more parent to me in that one afternoon than my own parents had been in years. My father-in-law Joseph walked me down the aisle. He had offered quietly, 2 weeks before the wedding, in a phone call that lasted 4 minutes, and that I have thought about almost every day since. "I know it's not the same," he said, "but if you want someone beside you, I would be honored." I said yes before he finished the sentence. Declan cried when he saw me. Not quietly, full tears. The kind that make the photographer's job easy. I cried too. It was the best day of my life. My parents sent a card 3 weeks later. It said, "We hope you know what you have done." I kept it, filed it away, and I got on with my life. Between family approval and your own happiness. Drop your story below. Let me tell you what 9 years looked like. Year 1, I called my mother twice. She answered once. The conversation lasted 6 minutes, and ended when she said she needed time. Year 2, I stopped calling. Year 3, Declan's startup launched. Small team. Big idea. Sustainable packaging technology for commercial shipping. I believed in it completely. Not because I understood every technical detail, but because I knew Declan. And when Declan committed to something, he did not stop. Year 4, our daughter was born. Imani Calloway, 7 pounds 4 ounces. The loudest baby in the maternity ward. Pauline drove 4 hours from Houston and stayed for 2 weeks and made food I am still dreaming about. I sent my parents a photo, 1 photo, no message. They did not respond. Year 5 through 8, the company grew. Slowly at first, then faster, then very fast. Expanded. Signed contracts with 3 major logistics companies. I watched him build something from a whiteboard idea into something real and significant and completely his. Our life was full. Imani started school. She had Declan's laugh and my stubbornness, and Pauline's warmth, and absolutely nobody's patience, which we are working on. We were happy, not in the easy way, in the real way, the kind that has been tested and held. Year 9, Declan's company went public. It was in the news, business publications, local Austin coverage, a feature in a national magazine about sustainable innovation. His name, our photo, the number, $55 million. I did not call my parents. They called me. My mother's voice, for the first time in 7 years, came through my phone on a Wednesday morning while I was making Imani's lunch. "Nadia," she said, like no time had passed. "We have been thinking about you." I put down the sandwich knife. Have you? I said. Your father and I would love to see you, she said, and meet. We would love to meet your family. Your family. Not Declan, not Imani by name. Your family. Come whenever you like, I said. She came on a Tuesday. Alone. My father had a prior commitment which told me everything about how this visit had been divided between them. Casserole dish. Nice clothes. The particular smile of someone who has rehearsed this moment and is now discovering the rehearsal was insufficient. I let her in. Declan was at the office. Imani was at school. It was just the two of us. I made coffee. She sat at my kitchen table, the table Declan had built himself from reclaimed wood because he said furniture should have a story. And she looked around at my house, at the photos on the wall, at Imani's drawings stuck to the refrigerator, at the garden visible through the window. You have built a beautiful life, she said. Yes, I said, we have. The we was intentional. She heard it. Nadia. She folded her hands. Your father and I have been doing a lot of reflecting. I said. We were wrong, she said. About Declan, about how we handled things. We can see that now. I looked at her. At the woman who had sat at a dinner table and told me calmly that my future husband was not what they had in mind. I said. She paused. We missed you, she said. And we realize now that we made a mistake. I nodded slowly. What is it you actually want, Mom? I said. Another pause. We would like to be part of your life again, she said, and part of the children's lives. Singular. Imani. She did not even know her name. There is also, she said carefully, the matter of your father's business. He has been having some difficulties and we thought, with Declan's success, perhaps there was an opportunity to discuss. And there it was. 9 years of silence. And she had come with a casserole dish and a request. I stood up. I went to my desk. I opened the drawer. I took out an envelope. I had prepared it 3 days ago, the morning after she had called, because I had known. I had always known this was how it would go. Did you see this coming? What would you have done in this moment? I put the envelope on the table in front of her. She looked at it. What is this? She said. Open it, I said. She opened it. Inside was a single sheet of paper, a letter, written by me, 3 days ago, at the kitchen table Declan built. I am going to tell you what it said, not word for word, but the truth of it. It said, I have spent 9 years building a life that you chose not to be part of. Not because you were not invited. You were. Every milestone, every holiday, every year, the invitation was always there. You chose not to come. I have a daughter who does not know your names, who has never heard your voices, who has grown up with one set of grandparents who showed up, who drove 4 hours and stayed 2 weeks, and made her feel like the most important person in every room she entered. I do not have room in my life for people who arrive only when it is convenient, only when there is something to be gained. I am not angry. I made peace with your absence a long time ago, but I will not pretend it was nothing, and I will not open a door that leads my daughter into a relationship with people who may close it again the next time something makes them uncomfortable. If you want to know Imani, you will need to earn that. Slowly, on her terms, and on mine. There is no shortcut. There is no casserole dish that covers 9 years. As for my father's business, I wish him well, but that conversation will not happen. My mother read it twice. She put it down. She did not say anything for a long time. Then she said, You prepared this before I came. Yes, I said. You knew, she said. My mother left without the casserole dish. She forgot it on the counter. I put it in the refrigerator. Declan came home at 6:30. He looked at the casserole dish. He looked at me. Your mother, he said. Yes, I said. He opened the refrigerator. What is it, he said. I think it's lasagna, I said. He got out 2 forks. We ate it at the kitchen table he built from reclaimed wood, and I told him everything. He listened without interrupting, which is one of the things I love most about him. And when I finished, he said, How do you feel? I thought about it honestly. Like I said the true thing, I said. And that is enough. He nodded. He took another bite of lasagna. It's actually really good, he said. I laughed, really laughed, the kind that comes from somewhere deep. Imani came down for a glass of water, and found us laughing at the kitchen table, and looked at us with the specific expression of an 8-year-old who finds adults baffling. "What's funny?" she said. "Nothing," Declan said. "Everything," I said. She took her water and went back upstairs. On the stairs. Then silence. Then Declan reached across the table and took my hand. And that was that. My mother called 3 weeks later. She asked if she could come again. Just to talk. No agenda. No casserole dish. I said yes. Not because she had earned it yet, but because I believe, slowly, imperfectly, that people can change. And because Imani deserves the chance to decide for herself what she wants from whoever shows up willing to do the work. We are not close. We are careful. There are long pauses and moments of awkwardness and the specific weight of 9 years sitting quietly in the room between us. But she comes every 2 weeks. On Tuesdays, without a casserole dish. Last month she asked Imani what her favorite subject was. Imani said science. My mother said, "Tell me everything." And Imani did, for 22 minutes. My mother listened to every word. I watched from the kitchen doorway. This is not forgiveness. Not yet. But it is something. And something, built slowly, honestly, without shortcuts, is how everything worth having begins. Drop your city one last time, and if you have ever had to choose between belonging and being true to yourself, this story was for you. Subscribe for more. New story every week. You will not want to miss what is coming.